Okay, for today's class, you're gonna need a yoga block, a strap, and something to put your legs up on. And we're gonna start in static back. So I'm gonna get you to put your legs up on your block. Okay, buddy. So, you got your legs up on your block, Bill. Down, down. There you go. And, or your chair, whatever it is you're using. You want whatever it is you're using to be height such that your heels are on it. You have about a 90-degree knee, about a 90-degree hip. And when you let your body relax, it doesn't feel like you want to push whatever it is away, the chair or whatever. Then you're just gonna let yourself settle for a moment. Arms a little bit away from the body, palms of the hands face up. Taking these first few minutes as you settle in, just scanning the body and noticing if you're holding tension, where you're holding tension, and can you let it go. So you might leave your eyes open, you might close your eyes, doesn't matter. Just noticing all the little muscles in your face, your forehead, around your eyes. Noticing the little muscles in your lips and your lower jaw. Allow your lips to soften. Allowing the bottom jaw to relax away from the top jaw. Noticing your neck. Gentle little arch in the back of the neck. Allowing for a softness in the throat. Feeling the air on the fingers and the palms of the hands. Noticing the heaviness of your arms on the floor beneath you. Observing the state of the shoulders and the upper back. Noticing if you have a sense that you're holding onto your arms. Just observing that. Seeing if you can let it go. Noticing your whole back from the top of the shoulders to the tailbone. Does it feel as though the back is settling level, right and left side? Can you observe that there's more tension one side or the other? Maybe a little bit of rotation. Noticing the state of your hips. Is there any sensation in the hip? In particular, observing the front of the hip or the crease of the hip. Is there bunching there? Do you have a sense that you're holding on to your legs, or is there gripping there? Can you let that soften? Very mindful that if you are holding tension, it's okay. We have this idea that tension is bad, and it's not. Your body is doing what it needs to do to hold yourself together. So if you're tense, just notice. Take a breath and move on. Noticing your inner legs, line from the knee to the groin. Do you have a sense that you're holding onto your legs, or you're holding your legs together? If you have a hard time letting that soften, you might put a strap around the legs, so you don't have to hold on to the legs. Noticing if there's any sensation in your knees. Observing the position or the alignment of the lower legs. Are your lower legs parallel? Are your feet as wide as your knees? And if they're not, you may consider widening them a little bit. And just notice how that maybe changes sensation in the hip. Noticing your ankles. Any sensation in your feet. You've taken stock of the physical body. Take a moment, just notice the state of the mind. Follow the thoughts for a moment without judging or trying to change anything. Just notice, what am I thinking about? Is the state of my mind? It's okay if the mind is busy. It's okay if the mind is quiet, just noticing. Follow the thoughts for a moment and then practice shifting the noticing from the movement of the mind back to the feeling of the breath. Each time you inhale, the body expands a little bit. Each time you exhale, the body settles and lets go. Now we're going to change this shape just a little bit. You're going to take your yoga block. So the yoga block has 3 heights. It's got the narrowest height, which would be this one, the tallest height, which would be this one, and then the middle height. And you want to set it on its longest edge, on its middle height. So you're going to take the block and you're going to set it under the base of the skull. Now, depending on a lot of things, like how long your neck is, how much tension you've got in your neck and shoulders, it's either going to feel too low, too high, or just right. But what we're doing is we're taking the block and almost creating like a head drop. It's creating a little length in the back of the neck, a little shortness in the front of the neck. You want to notice if there's a resistance in your body to letting your chin drop. Another thing that's interesting to observe is if this feels better than lying flat. So if this feels significantly better than lying flat, that gives you some information about what's going on in your upper back and shoulders, and might tell you that you're really adapted to head forward posture and rounded shoulders. If you find this stretch to be, like you find it to be a stretch, it feels good, it feels comfortable, you can always pause the video here and hang out a little bit longer. I'm going to hang out about a minute here. It's okay if sensation shows up in your back. It's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable. That being said, if you feel lightheaded or nauseous, do something different. Just because something should be helpful doesn't always mean that it is. So now just taking one more breath here, and then you take the block out. When you take the block out, just notice the changes. Do I feel better? Do I feel worse? Just observing. Then I get you to bring your arms up in front of you. You're going to clasp your hands. So interlacing your fingers, the palm of your hand touching. Straighten your elbows a little bit, and then we're pulling left to right. Just side to side. Now, if you have really, really mobile shoulders, you're going to be able to move the arms a lot without moving the upper back. So try and create almost a little bit of a tension in the shoulder so that as you're pulling side to side, your rib cage also goes with your arms just a little bit. So when you go right, your left shoulder blade comes off the floor. When you go left, your right shoulder blade comes off the floor. And it's interesting to notice if you can create this range of motion without your hips getting too involved. So we want to leave the hip flexors out of it, little side to side. I like to think about my ribs kind of crawling up the mat a little bit or up the floor, so the back's getting a little bit longer, a little bit flatter. A couple more here. You're gonna come back through center with your arms relaxed. And you wanna notice, is my back getting flatter? Does it feel the same right and left side? We got one more little bit of shoulder work here. So you're gonna bring your arms in front of you again, keeping your elbows straight, and you can kind of turn your elbow pits to face one another, just makes a little bit more room for your head. You're gonna pull your arms back to the floor behind you and forward. Now, my arms do get to the floor without too much rib flare. Yours might not. You're simply moving from the shoulder, trying to limit how much flexion you get in your elbows and trying to limit movement at the rib cage. So we keep going here. We're gonna do 20 of these in total. So that's about 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we often like to sort of coordinate breath and movement. If you like that, you would exhale your arms back and inhale your arms forward. And the reason being is the exhale might help to keep your ribs down. It might help to keep your ribs stable as the arms move back. I'm gonna do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're gonna let your arms relax. Just notice, how does my upper back feel? How do my shoulders feel? Let my belly soften. I'm gonna get you to take your legs up off your chair or your block, whatever it is you're using to support your legs. And you're gonna come into what is called hook lying. So hook lying is knees bent, feet flat. We're gonna start with a little bit of pelvic tilting. You're gonna push with your feet back flattens, pull with your feet back arches. Push with your feet back flattens, pull with your feet back arches. Noticing, how does my back feel right now? Does this feel free and easy? Does it feel the same right and left side? What's going on in my hip joint? Does it feel like the movement is fairly easy in the front of the hip? Now, you're gonna let your pelvis move into neutral-ish, so we have a little bit of an arch in our back. And then you're simply gonna take your left ankle on your right thigh and hang out here for a moment. So we're just noticing what this shape feels like. Is there a twist in the pelvis? Is there a lot of tension in that left hip? Did I have to move my right foot in order to get my left foot somewhere? And for many people, this isn't gonna feel like a stretch at all, and that's okay. And we're gonna switch sides. So we're gonna take right ankle, left thigh, and again, just relax. Belly soft, jaws relaxed. Just noticing. And remember, you don't have a good side and a bad side. So if one side feels easier, one side feels more flexible, that's okay. You don't have good and bad body parts. You just have a whole lifetime of movement habit, which leaves holding patterns in your body. And you uncross your legs. Something else to think about, we're laying here for a long time. If your neck and shoulders are unhappy, you can always put something under your head. And if you're not sure if you need something under your head, just try it, and if it feels better, perfect. Now, stretch your left leg out. So you got a straight left leg, foot is flexed, kind of looks like a standing foot. Put your left hand on your left hip so you can feel where your thigh bone's turning into your hip. You're gonna turn the foot out and turn the foot in. So it's external and internal femur rotation. 3, 4, 5, 6, keeping the shoulders relaxed, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you're gonna switch. You're gonna stretch your right leg out, left leg bent. Same again, 20 femur rotations, shoulders relaxed, outward, inward, 2. We might notice that range of motion is different one side to the other. It's easier to straighten one leg than it is the other. 5, try and keep the knees straight. 7, 8, 9, 10. We might also notice different tension in the waist. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now you're going to switch again. So left foot out, right foot bent, right knee bent. Same again, external and internal femur rotation. We might start to notice it gets a little easier. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you're going to switch. It's really interesting. So right side, same thing, external, internal rotation. You might even feel this into your feet, like into the soles of the feet, the ball of the foot, kind of that plantar fasciitis-y feeling. It's okay. We're not just changing the hip here, we're changing the whole leg. If there's sensation in the knee, if there's sensation in the foot, it's okay. Don't panic. Obviously if sensation's unbearable, stop. But again, you don't have bad body parts. We're just changing ranges of motion, changing things, and that might be a little uncomfortable. I lost count on this side. We're gonna do one more set of 20 each leg. So stretching that left leg out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And switch sides. Same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Place both foot soles on the floor. Just pause for a moment, kind of notice if things have changed. And then I'm going to get you to roll over onto your belly. So you're going to roll onto your stomach. Hands are going to come around, forehead rest on your hands. Big toes touch, heels drop out. Then trying to keep your pelvis relatively still, you're just going to bend your right knee. And it doesn't matter how much of a knee bend you get, just whatever is comfortable. And then we're adding a little rotation. So it's actually a very similar movement at the hip. It's internal and external rotation at the femur. Just a different orientation of the knee. So you might feel this in the hip. You might feel this in the low back. And again, don't panic if you feel your low back here. Hopefully by the time we're done this little series of exercises, the low back feels a little better. Now lower that right leg down, bend your left knee. Same again, little rotation at the hip. Now lower that down. Sliding your left knee along the floor with a bent left knee. You're going to hike your right leg up. Oh, it's my right leg. You're bending your right leg, hiking it up, leaving your left hip where as it is, just hanging out in a little prone inner leg stretch with a bent knee. Now, if there's a ton of sensation here, it's enough. You don't have to add any movement. You don't have to add anything else. But we might lift the right heel up and set it down. So you're lifting it up, you're setting it down. And we're trying to leave the pelvis out of this as best you can. Of course, it's going to move a little bit. Lifting and lowering. Now, see if you can put the whole inside edge of that right foot on the floor, big toe, heel, whole thing. And this, you may or may not get a lot of movement here. See if you can pick that right knee up and put it down. Pick the right knee up, put it down. Absolutely might get a little cramp in your hip like I am. One more time. Lower that down. And then again, just relax. Do a little downward facing dog stretch like Bill. Just breathe. You're going to stretch that right leg out, and we're going to switch. So you hike your left knee up. And then just rest. So there's going to be a difference in the right and the left side. Again, we're going to be patient with that. Same thing, you can add the movement, the next movement or not. You're going to pick your left foot up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. And one hip might be crampier than the other. It's perfectly normal. Again, the foot's going to stay on the floor. We're going to try and lift the knee and put it down. Knee, put it down. It's interesting to sort of consider if you notice a big difference in your right and left side, and you're a person who has persistent pain, that imbalance might be contributing to your persistent pain. It's something to explore. So again, one more lift, lower, and then just relax a little bit. Take a breath. And stretch that leg back out. So now again, we're just lying two straight legs. Toes pointing straight back, and I'm going to get you to reach your arms straight out in front of you. So your toes are pointing straight back, your arms are pointing straight ahead. Your face is going to be downward facing. And you're going to be tempted to want to lift in this one, but it is not a lift, it is a reach. So it's very subtle, doesn't look like much. You're just sliding your right hand away and your left foot away. Take a breath and then relax. And then you slide your left hand and your right foot, easy stretch, and then relax. So right hand, left foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, left hand, right foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, right hand, left foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, left hand, right foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, right hand, left foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, left hand, right foot, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time, right hand, left foot, 2, 3, 4, 5, left hand, right foot, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come around, forehead rests on your hands, toes come together, heels drop out. And particularly if you're a person who, when you first lay down on your stomach, if your back was achy, notice if it still is, or if it feels a little better now. Super gently, just bend both your knees, and again, little windshield wiper both legs. You're gonna lower yourself down. You're gonna roll onto your back. So again, you can have something under your head. In this one, now, if your hamstrings aren't on the floor, you might find something and put something under your legs. So maybe a blanket or a block or something. Not so much as a bolster, but just something so that you can feel your hamstrings on the floor. You're gonna take your strap, you're gonna put it around the ball of your right foot. You're gonna stretch your right leg out, lay flat again. Now, keeping your left leg where it is, keeping your left thigh on the floor, you're going to pick your right leg up. And we're going to try not to bend the knee. With the strap around the ball of the foot, you're going to relax your heel away. So we're trying not to bend the knee. We're trying not to let the left hamstring come off the floor, sort of neutralish pelvis. And in my opinion, less is always a little bit more. So lower down if it's really uncomfortable. What we're looking for is sensation maybe in the calf. You absolutely might feel this behind the knee, maybe in the hamstring. And it's kind of a lot of work, but the work is more in your hands and in your arms. We're letting the strap hold the leg. Now, keeping your heel, your knee, and your hip in line, you're going to turn your foot out and turn your foot in. So it's a little external rotation at the hip, a little internal rotation at the hip. Doing a lot of rotation at the hip joint today. Now go to a neutral knee pit, so your kneecap's facing you and your knee pit's facing down, which doesn't necessarily mean your foot will be facing you. And then it's a little bit right to left. So as far to the right and as far to the left as you can go without your pelvis going with it. Trying to keep that left leg grounded. And then your right leg's gonna come across to the left. And if you're able to let your leg go way over to the floor, I want you to make sure you're keeping your pelvis level. I want you to bring your leg a little closer to you without bending your knee. And then pull a little more on the right side of the strap. And if it's super easy, back off anyways, because you don't really need that much flexibility. You don't need that much mobility. Bring the leg back. You're going to lower it down. Let go of the strap for a moment. Just notice. Maybe you feel a little flatter, a little longer on that side. And then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to take the strap, put it on the ball of your left foot, and pull that left leg up. We're looking for a straightish left knee, keeping the right hamstring on the floor, relaxing your heel away, relaxing your belly. And something to consider, like I could make myself look more flexible maybe, but you'll notice when I moved my leg closer to me, my bottom leg popped up, my back flattened. So I didn't really move this leg from the hip. I moved it from my waist and my pelvis, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad thing to do. Except it's not the thing that we're doing. Like if my intention in this shape is to change the back of my leg, this isn't doing it. So back off a little bit. And then again, we're gonna add a little rotation. You're gonna turn the foot out, you're gonna turn the foot in. Noticing how that feels in the hip. Do I have different ability one side to the other? And then again, you're going to come to a neutral knee pit and you're going to move that whole leg from right to left, side to side. Observing how one leg is different than the other without calling one leg names. You bring that leg across to the right. You're going to pull a little bit more on the left side of the strap, and you're going to breathe. A very relaxed jaw. Bring that leg back, lower it down, set your strap aside just for a moment, lie flat. Kind of notice how lying flat feels. Also observing circulation in your hands from that little bit of pulling, little bit of grip strength. Then you get you to bend your knees. So you're going to bend your knees, you're going to place your foot soles on the floor. We're going to go back to this shape. So left ankle on right thigh, arms relaxed. I get you to think about your right foot, and we're going to do 10 rocking chairs on that right foot. So you're going to pull the ball of the foot off and then go heel off. So it's a heel toe, 2. What you're going to notice is that your foot's going to want to walk away from you. Try and keep your foot where it is. And you absolutely might get a foot cramp here. You absolutely might get a hamstring cramp. That's perfect. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to switch. So right ankle, left thigh. Same again, heel toe or rocking chair. 2, noticing if one of your ankles feels better at this than the other. Absolutely might have one ankle that feels more stable, more wobbly. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to go back to the first side. So switching, left ankle, right thigh, same again, heel toe. Maybe it's easier second time around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switching. Same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uncross your legs. You're going to go feet together, knees wide. Go feet together, knees wide. Heels are as close to or as far away from your seat as works. And this position can be very uncomfortable, particularly if you have hip degeneration or labral tear. If this feels awful, don't do it. And if you feel worse coming out of it than you did going into it, it's not helpful. So maybe you skip this part, and that's okay. But if you're in bound angle, observing your right and left hip. Do they feel similar? Is there similar sensation one side to the other? Are your knees the same height? What's going on in your ankles? Do they feel the same right and left side? Just noticing. I need you to bring your legs up. And you're going to take your block, again, on its middle height, so that way, between your knees. Arms are relaxed, bums relaxed, belly's relaxed. You're going to squeeze the block, relax. Squeeze the block, relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, don't use your bum. 7, 8, make sure the pelvis isn't moving. 9, 10, your belly's relaxed. 11, 12, so are your shoulders. 13, 14, big toes on the floor. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now take the block out, walk your ankles and your knees together, roll onto your right side. This is my left side. Roll onto your left side. Now, when you relax, your top hip is going to end up being kind of higher than your bottom hip, and your waist on the top side is going to be shorter. So what I want you to do is push that top hip away, and I don't know if you can see, because I got a baggy shirt on, then your waist is no longer on the floor. So your pelvis is stacked, and your waist is working. Your core is a little bit engaged. Your feet are going to be flexed, keeping your pelvis still. You're going to kick your heels up, like you're doing a little ski jump. 2, but you want to try and keep the pelvis still. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now keep your feet up. Keep your waist off the floor. Keeping the big toe side of your feet together, you pick your knee up, so it's a little clamshell, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now relax your legs down, but again, your waist is still the same length. Your bottom waist is off the floor. You're lifting your whole top leg up and lowering down without your pelvis moving back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There should be a delightful burning in your hips. You're going to keep that right knee where it is. It's up there. You drop your heel down, you pick your heel up. So again, it's rotation at the hip. 2, 3, 4. Try not to rock back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You relax. You're going to roll onto your back. You're going to take that block, set it between your knees. Arms relaxed, belly relaxed, jaw relaxed. You squeeze the block, relax. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now roll onto your other side. So you're gonna roll onto your other side. Same thing, you can have something under your head. Your heels, your hips, and your shoulders are in line, knees are bent. You're pushing the top hip away so that your waist comes off the floor a little bit. So your pelvis is stacked. You flex your feet and then you're picking both feet up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to feel different one side to the other. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep your feet up there. Your waist is still off the floor. You pick your top knee up, you set it down. 2, use your side bum. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax your legs down, but not your waist. Picking up your top leg, lowering down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep that leg up there. Keep your knees still. Drop your heel down. Pick it up. Heel down. Pick it up. 3, 4. It's rotation at the hip. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You lower both legs down, relax. Last time, roll onto your back. Take that block, set it between your knees. Arms relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Squeeze the block, relax. Squeeze the block, relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take the block out, go back, feet together, knees wide. Let your legs get heavy. Observe if after doing that clamshell sequence, do you feel more flexible? Do you feel like your right and left hip are more level? They might not. Just because something should be helpful doesn't always mean it is, but just check in. We didn't do anything to stretch the hips there. We did work to strengthen them. And so if you feel more flexible after strengthening, maybe you don't need stretching. Maybe you actually need a little bit of stability work, something to consider. Now, you're gonna bring your knees together, you're gonna roll onto your belly, and you're gonna figure out how to get the block between your feet, which is kind of the hardest part of this next exercise. So you got the block between your feet are pointed, and it is the inside edge of your foot holding the block, not the sole of your foot. Hands come around, forehead rests on your hands, and you're gonna flex your feet. Now, we wanna keep the pelvis on the floor, so you're using your glutes to hold the pelvis on the floor. You're gonna squeeze the block, relax. Squeeze the block, relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now lower it down. Pause. Take a breath and start again. You might notice there's a lot of wobble in the block. If there's wobble, that means you're using one side more than the other. Try and let your body figure that out. I'm going to squeeze, relax. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower down. Take a breath. Last time. Bend your knees, squeeze, relax. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower down. The block out of there. Just lie flat for a moment. Notice how lying flat feels. I'm going to get you to make yourself a little pigeon-toed, big toes touching, heels wide. You're going to come on up onto your elbows. So we want maybe like shoulder over elbow, palms face up. Think about pushing your elbows into the floor. It might move you up a little bit. You can tuck your chin, kind of move your head a little side to side. So usually this position feels the best for our neck, sort of that little bit looking down, because obviously that is a shape we use a lot in our neck. So I want you to push down through your elbows. Imagine there's a weight on your head and push up. Obviously, if there's pain here, you're being gentle. You're gonna look around a little bit. You can look up a little bit. A little bit of a back bend. Breathing. You're gonna lower yourself back down. Roll a little bit onto your right side. You're gonna slide your left leg up along the floor. We're gonna come into the prone inner leg stretch. We did this earlier with a bent knee. Now we've got a straight knee. If the straight knee doesn't feel great, go back to the bent knee. That's perfect. You're just gonna try and set your sternum down flat. Try and relax here. Let's see where my leg is. Just breathing. And if you felt like adding a little knee bend on that right leg, you might. I'm always a big fan of adding a little movement, partly because I don't love being perfectly still. And also adding rotation is never a bad idea. Unless it is. Who knows? I'm going to lower that down. Take a breath. And again, in any of these sort of more passive stretches, you want to stay as long as you want. You just pause the video, hang out for a bit. I'm going to swing that leg back. Roll onto your other side. Hike your right leg up. And again, just lay down flat. Breathe. Again, we might add a little knee bend. You don't have to. You'll likely notice that the knee bend creates different sensation, different movement in the hip and pelvis from one side to the other. Lower that leg down. Swing your leg back. Just for a moment, lie flat. So if you're laying here And lying on your stomach feels great. You go right ahead, continue to lay on your stomach. If lying on your stomach doesn't feel great, maybe you roll over, lay onto your back. Maybe you really like legs up on your chair. So you get your chair back, put your legs up there. Maybe you have a bolster. Put your legs on a bolster. You like legs up the wall. You go ahead, put your legs up the wall. If you got other things to do today, go right ahead. Carry on with your life. Settling your body into a shape where it can rest, whatever that looks like for you right now. Maybe you choose to leave your eyes open. Maybe you choose to close your eyes. Simply begin by noticing the feeling of the breath in the body. Time you inhale, body expands. Time you exhale, body settles. The soles of your feet are relaxed. And your ankles are relaxed. Your lower legs are relaxed. And your knees are relaxed. Your thighs are relaxed. And your hips are relaxed. Your low back is relaxed. And your middle back is relaxed. Your stomach is relaxed. And your chest is relaxed. Your fingers are relaxed. And the palms of your hands are relaxed. Your arms are heavy and relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your neck is long, your throat is soft. Your jaw is relaxed. Space between your teeth, softness in your tongue. Your lips are relaxed. Feeling the corners of the mouth dropping back to the floor beneath you. Your cheeks are relaxed. All the little muscles around your eyes are relaxed. Eyelids resting softly. Feeling corners of the eyes dropping back to the floor beneath you. Your forehead is smooth and relaxed. Your ears are relaxed. Your mind is relaxed. Your heart is relaxed. Lying in stillness for as long as feels helpful for you today. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy.